Alrighty. The Hisense Model 50R 61G. Picked this up from Costco on super good deal. 50-inch TV, 4K, Ultra HD. Hisense, kind of mid-tier, lower mid-tier manufacturer TVs. It was on sale for $325 Canadian at Costco today, and the TV that I had in this spot here for playing my Xbox and stuff like that, and also I had occasionally a work laptop and things like that I was plugging into it, it just wouldn't stay on. It might work for a week and then it would just shut off, and then would come back on, and it kept going on and off and on and off and on and off, and then like I'd be ready to just throw the darn thing out, and then it would start working again. And that's where we were today. Is it had worked most of the weekend without a problem, and then I'd gone to Costco, saw this deal on this Hisense TV, and went to try it out. Went to look at it, and I wasn't quite sure. Wasn't quite sold. Came home, turned on the TV, had it playing, doing some stuff in the background, and it shut off. So grabbed the daughter, we went back to Costco, and we got the TV. So yeah, I'm going to do a little setup on this thing, take a look at it, see what it looks like as I set it up to the Xbox here. Does have smart Roku TV in it. If you've done Roku TVs before, I'll get a TV in the living room that has Roku in it, and it's not bad. It works pretty well, so that's good. So right now I generally use the Xbox One S there to provide all my media streaming and all that kind of stuff. But I'm going to switch, and probably most of my media streaming will be then right through the Roku TV. We'll see how the 4K is on that. I'm going to have to plug in a wired cable, but I've got a wired jack right there to provide the optimum internet connection to it. So yeah, I'm going to give it a shot. Alright, so got it popped open. Got a leg for each side, just plastic legs, relatively thick. We'll see what they look like. Not particularly fancy. Standard Roku type TV remote with the automated buttons here: Netflix, Disney Plus, Global, and Google Play. So Netflix and Disney Plus will probably be useful for me. Other than that, it looks more like a standard Roku TV remote. And we'll get this thing open a little further. Tape just on. Focus. Tape just inside the box there. This bag here with the quick start guide, some screws before the legs. Yeah, so that's good to know. Seems relatively well packed. Piece here protecting the front screen. Alright, I'm going to pull that out. Okay, so this is the underside of the TV. On this side, you can see it's all fairly keyed for the leg. It's going to be where all the remote control stuff occurs. And over on that side is the left leg. If we look at the bottom here, oh, focus you bugger. This is, if it would focus, which it won't focus, there we go, that's the L, so that's the wrong one. And so this one's got to be the R, right? Unless they screwed up heavily, that's the R. So let's go in there. It's keyed, you can see an angle on the right here. Right there, an angle on the one corner, and then this peg's got to go in that hole. Line it up. It's different than I expected. The longer run goes to the front, shorter part of the leg goes to the back. 2 screws will go in there. I'll get those in and come right back. Okay, so that's the one side in. 2 Phillips screws for each one. Get that snugged in. I'll do the other side. Okay, so now I got the left leg in. I'm going to put it up on the shelf here, the back of it. Got just a standard old RCA analog inputs, cable, headphone jack, there's a reset button on it, digital audio out, 1, 2, 3 HDMI ports, one with ARC, And what does that say on that one? 4K, 4K, 4K. So it's all there. It's USB port and a LAN port. And then over here, interesting that it's not a detachable power cord. Most of the other TVs have a detachable one, unless you can pop the back here and detach it. But yeah, that one's not detachable. Okay, so I'll get it all set up, put a network cable to it, hook up the Xbox, and we'll give it a try. So here's something a little rare. Let's put the batteries in the remote, in the standard Roku remote. And normally you put the batteries so that, they go out and back. So you'd put them in like that generally. That's not how this one's built. They've got to both go in the same direction. That is very unusual. I've probably seen that like 3 times in my life, and I spent a good portion of my career fixing electronics. So that was a surprise. Okay, we're starting to get set up. Only thing I've hit in the menu so far is English. Canada's correct. Home use. Okay, showing wired and internet connection. Checking for new software. Oh, update available. As long as it doesn't brick it. It's downloading pretty quick. Let's see how fast it implements. The cable I put in, I'm not entirely sure how good the cable is. It may only get me 100 megabit as opposed to a gig. Update connection. Okay, we're wired. Okay, that's all fine. Okay, well, why do I need to do it again? I shouldn't need to do it again. That's weird. I have to update again? Doing really important stuff. Okay, that was kind of weird that it asked twice. So it never finished the update the first time. And now we got no spinning. Did we brick this thing? I hope not. Okay, powered off. Hopefully that's a standard reboot. I'm gonna play with the colors right now. I don't know if it's just how it's set up. I mean, it looks better on the phone here as I'm recording than what it looks to my eyes. It looks a little washed out to my eyes right now. The blue is a little paler than I would like, but I'm not entirely sure if that's the true color scheme. I gotta play with some stuff to check that. Okay. All right. Well, it's turned off once. Oh, now it's back. Okay. One sec. Okay. Before I activate anything, let me get some of this stuff off of here. Cardboard here. There's also some tape. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay. TV done. Or TV done. One side done for the cardboard. Okay. I'm going to break this lamp. Little fun to do one-handed. There we go. Okay. So let's take this tape on the side here. Fairly satisfying peel. Unfortunately, not a full screen peel though. Those are fun instead. There we go. Do the downside here. There we go. It's harder to get a hold of. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my computer and I will get this all linked in once I remember my Roku account. Alright, so I've got it set up. I linked into my existing Roku account. You can set up a new one if you like. One thing to note there is when you go to set up the new device, it asks for payment information. Look for it and skip that step unless you specifically are buying stuff through the Roku system. I won't be, just because I don't think there's anything I need to do. Whatever I'm streaming, I'm doing that all independently through other methodologies. So I'm not going to do that. So not quite hidden, but it's down at the bottom in lighter grayer text. That's not as obvious to see. So yeah, I'm just getting some of my channels set up here, adding a few of the ones there. I see Prime videos going on, so that's good. So I generally use Netflix, Prime, YouTube. Yeah, that's really about it. And then just the HDMI input from the Xbox. Those are the main ones for me. But yeah, so we'll let these finish adding. Oh yeah, the different themes that I've added. So it's adding stuff that I had previously on my account from the other Roku TV we have. So it's adding all of those in. So I don't know if we'll see what it looks like when it comes in. It might set up my main screen to be very similar to what I had. We'll see. Some of those ones I did not have before, so those are definitely ones that the TV decided it wanted, or the manufacturer decided I wanted. So we'll see how that goes. Connect your devices. Okay. I'm going to turn the Xbox on. Okay. Okay, let's hit the OK button. Everything is plugged in and turned on. Yes. So you can see the Xbox is wanting to turn on some advanced features. It's detecting there we go. So that is game console. Nothing for that one. Nothing for the third HDMI. Nothing to the audio video RCA jacks. Okay, all done. Let's go to game console. I might rechange the name on that one. Okay, so there's some changes. I'll have to play with some of the settings there. It's giving me Xbox is giving me a bunch of warnings. We'll just kind of see what that is doing in a few. I know when I set up my last one, I had to do some setup changes. So I'm gonna go play with that, and I will be back. Okay, so I got it a little bit better, mostly where I needed to be. Basically, what I had to do was go in and enforce it to HDMI 2.0 for that particular input in the settings, and that cleaned up a bunch of my my issues on this Xbox. So to do that, go to settings, TV inputs, over to Xbox, down to HDMI mode, and it was in auto. It was in auto, and I switched to HDMI 2.0, and it made a big difference. Yeah, so I've also changed the theme on the TV just to make it look a little bit better. Now I'm just going to play with some of the colors and things like that, and I'll be back. I can be able to tell really well on the camera video here, but I've played with some of the color settings, specifically for the Xbox channel. It's looking not bad. I've got YouTube playing on the Xbox right now. I haven't gone into the YouTube app on the TV itself yet, but this is the one on the Xbox. And yeah, I'm running 4K video through the Xbox up to the TV. The colors look pretty good. Yeah, I'm going to probably have to play with that a little bit more over time, but it looks pretty solid so far. So far it looks pretty good. It fits pretty decently with where I need it to be. It fits right in the spot there. It's, if anything, maybe a touch wider than the, that was a 50-inch there that was up here too. So, but it might have been 49, and this one's closer to 49.5 or something like that. It just makes it a slightly bigger TV. Alrighty. I think I got it all set up. It looks pretty good. Yeah, it's coming out pretty nice, 4K. Looks pretty solid. Granted, that right there is a 1080p feed, but it looks pretty darn sharp. Looks pretty good. Tried some YouTube 4K videos, looked pretty good. I was concerned at one point that something wasn't working. There was a 4K video that just would not play, but it was with HDR. It kept dropping it to 1080p instead of 4K. It wasn't giving me a 4K option, so I'm not sure what was up with that. but I tried a different 4K video and it worked beautifully. So that is good. I am fairly happy with that so far. We'll just have to see how it goes long term, and yeah, gotta figure out where to put that the other TV that occasionally works and occasionally doesn't work, and yeah, just messes with me. But I'll have to find another spot for that. But anyway, we'll put that kind of together as a video eventually here and put it up on the internet. So yeah, anyway, like, subscribe, and I will talk to you in the next video.